Wherever you are in space and time, if you have the ability to gather some props and your water bottle and your mat, really ultimately, if you don't have any of these things, you can still practice yoga. So don't let that deter you if you're if you're feeling like you don't have any of those things, especially if you're traveling. Just finding a space, any kind of dedicated space, even if kids are running around, this is what life is like, right? We're just gonna practice. And Spider-Man, if you're there, help. It's good to see you in this.
Yeah, I'm waiting on you too.
So, and this is really great for what I was thinking about teaching what we're gonna move with today. So in this 30-minute practice. So just take a few moments to gather your supplies, any props that you need, creating the space for you to sink into this practice today. And if you have something that you can sit up on, some height, something to just lift and elevate your hips a little higher than your knees, that offers support. And just begin arriving in this moment, just energetically kind of gathering your particles as much as you can. I'm doing this for myself too. Oh, imagine just like little magnets are just kind of drawing parts of yourself back to this moment. And I will offer a mudra since this is a shorter class, offer a mudra and give you a little theme intro as we hold this mudra. So today I'm going to be working with the element of water, the element of water resides in our hips and our low back area. And so, one way that I like to embody the water element is with mudra. And the element, each of the fingers represents an element, and the pinky finger is water. So, the thumb is fire. And so, when we take our thumb and connect it to the tip of the pinky, lightly extend the remaining fingers, then we're using the fire to activate the water. And then just gently bring your palms to your thighs. This is Varuna Mudra. It's a mudra. It kind of gives you a glow up. So if you're feeling like you need some hydration, encouraging the fluids in your bodies to become more radiant, it is said that Varuna Mudra will give you that glow. So, holding this mudra and taking a few moments just to feel your breath, sense your breath, hear your breath, and just notice that flowing nature of the breath, how it flows in and it flows out. You can continue in this gentle flow, or if you'd like to initiate Ujjayi Pranayama, victorious breath, ocean sounding breath. It's like you're fogging up a mirror when you exhale and on the inhale, but your lips are sealed. So if you can imagine that, a little slight constriction in the back of your throat. So wherever, keep breathing, however you're showing up. If you're watching this later and you're pregnant, if you are studying to support pregnant people and postpartum people, or whether you're postpartum or a little further out, there's one thing that really unites us as humans in this world is we don't know the future and we can imagine it, we can visualize it. And sometimes that future can be exciting, like, anticipating the birth or the growth of your child and your family. It can also be anxiety producing if you're worried about the health or the well-being or the experience, like labor or birth. So there's so many different ways that we anticipate the future. And as you keep flowing with your breath, it brings me back to the element of water. Water doesn't force, it seeks the path of least resistance. Water is connected to our emotions and to our feeling body. And sometimes when I'm holding a future moment in my mind and I have, excitement or even fear, which those are, some say, two sides of the same coin, kind of notice the feeling of it. When that thing is here, when that baby is here, when that birth is here, when that certification is here, what is that feeling? What does it feel like when you are in the moment, living that? And it might not be something you can kind of like follow the dots or have how you're going to get there, but you can maybe feel that. So we're going to just kind of sink into our bodies a little bit more in that essence of feeling and allowing and flowing. And releasing the mudra, drawing your palms together gently at heart center. And if there's something you'd like to set as an intention to guide this short practice today, this is a lovely time to call that in. And release your hands in your lap, bringing your feet together and your knees wide. You can always get blocks to support your outer shins if that feels supportive here. But taking this moment to soften your groins, allow the inner thighs to kind of roll in, making a little booty in the back of your lower back. And gently press your feet together. And begin to circle in one direction. So we've opened up with some space. By pressing the feet together, we're welcoming in that earth energy. And now we can flow a little bit with our spine. And see if you can continue that breath, that letting your breath flow, and just noticing when it catches or if you find yourself holding. And switch sides or directions. And there's really no right or wrong way to do this. It's just kind of feeling it, feeling your body, feeling how your spine moves and what your pelvis does. See if you can stay connected with your sitting bones to the earth, though, plugged in. And then coming back through the center, and we'll drop one hand to the floor and the other hand sweeps up and over. Again, that outer hip really anchoring that sitting bone down, making space between your hip and your armpit, stretching the side body. Welcoming your breath to the other side. And just feeling and noticing if this is a sensation that your body is saying yes to, or if it's like, no, it's all information. Maybe a couple times in a flowing motion to each side. And returning to center. Again, plugging your sitting bones into the earth. Begin to rotate to one side. Just a gentle rotation. Drawing your chin back, the sides of your neck long, almost like you have a little string that's gently pulling the top of your head to the sky. And breathe here, breathe big and wide through the back of your heart. Inhale to the center, and then exhale, flow to the other side. And a little rotation, maybe a little more flowy, if you like. Coming back to the center. And then as you breathe in, draw your palms up the tops of your thighs. Snuggle your shoulder blades onto the back of your rib cage and send your heart forward. Maybe gaze up, little extension of the spine. And then it might be nice to slide your palms down to your shins or your ankles and then bow in, curling around your belly or your baby if you're pregnant. A couple more times, maybe a little faster. Just inviting all the ranges of motion that our spine likes to move. And then coming back to center, extend your arms out to either side and create some flowing arms, almost like we're a bed of seaweed and we're just flowing in the water. And then taking your hands, gently bring your knees together. You might want to remove your blocks. Scoot your booty down the mat a little bit, feet about, hips width or outer hips width apart. We'll just start with some windshield wipers here. And depending on where you are in your body, so Isabel, I know that you're, at least a year out postpartum. You can stay here if this is where your body wants to be today. Or you can practice bringing your knees all the way down to that side and maybe even rotating around to that side. Again, this is just an option, just noticing where you are today. You can also do this one if you're pregnant. It's just sometimes, depending on how each body is, this could be an option, or you simply go back to regular windshield wipers. So here we get to work on external and internal rotation of the hips. And rotation helps, spinal rotation really is healthy for the thoracic spine. And then one little thing to practice, if you'd like to add on, and you're not pregnant, lifting both hands off the ground and experiment with moving side to side without, you can do this if you're pregnant too. It's just, it might be a lot. So if it is, just go back to the other versions, the supported hands down. Just trying this a little bit and giving yourself grace if it's challenging or you can't do it, it's okay. All right. And then coming back to the center, cross your ankles, and we're going to move to all fours. You can pad up your knees, gather your blocks together in front of you, and extend one leg out to the side. So we're going to work. So the water element really resides in this area in our bodies. So setting up the strong foundation, hands to your blocks or to the floor if you prefer. Breathe in, really bring more breath, enlivening, lighting up that back body. As you breathe in, energetically hug to the midline, hug your muscles around your bones. And then as you exhale, send your inner thighs back and wide and make a little booty and maybe even glide forward and backwards. I'll show you this way. Make a little booty and then maybe glide forwards and backwards here. While you're doing that, just energetically draw your belly towards your spine and see if you can kind of lengthen your tailbone a little bit towards your heels. And then if you feel anywhere like you want to pause and just enjoy that stretch, that air energy, just welcoming that in. And then coming back through the center. And we'll take that to the other side. So just welcoming in the flowing nature of our hips. So breathing in, filling up your back body, hugging to the center. Really connect your shoulder blades onto the back of your ribs, creating that support and stability in the shoulders and the wrists. Sending your inner thighs back and wide and gently pulse forward and backwards. You can also pause instead of pulsing if that feels better for you. Lengthening the crown of your head. I'm looking up at you guys and there's nobody, I can't see you. It's funny. Lengthen the back of your head, like gaze down, like diagonally at the floor. So you keep your skull in alignment with your spine and your hips. And then begin to bring that knee back in. And actually, so from here, just step one foot forward and then the other foot forward. And we're going to move to standing. So you're in a standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Keeping your feet about outer hips width apart. Gently bend your knees and just drape your belly between or on top of your thighs if you're not pregnant. It might feel good to clasp opposite elbows and just flow a little side to side. If that doesn't feel good, you just keep your hands on the blocks. We're keeping that Ujjayi Pranayama flowing. Draw your low belly in, glide your hands up to the tops of your thighs, lengthen for halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale. Inhale, root your feet into the earth, reach all the way up. Hands in prayer at the top of your head. Exhale, drawing it down to your spine. Well, to your heart, the front of your spine. And then while we're here, just take a moment here just to notice your feet on the floor, what it feels like. Maybe shift your weight a little side to side so you can feel what it feels like to flow with that weight. Maybe inviting your hips along and just kind of play with that a little bit. Maybe making some figure eights or some circles. You can have your hands to belly or hand to heart or on your hips. Whatever makes you feel like you want to groove. And then maybe just do a little tiny little shimmy, just a gentle little shimmy, bending one knee and then the other. Little dance move. Whoop, whoop. And then step your feet wide, point your toes out, energetically draw that earth energy up through the long bones of your legs, like plugging into your pelvis. And then extend your arms wide, draw that earth energy through your fingers into your shoulder blades. So you're plugging in, keeping that space for your breath, keeping that connection to your steady center. Then begin to expand that energy back out. Bend your knees, lower your hands to your thighs or to your hips, and we'll do a little kind of playful goddess pose. So that water energy is also really related to play. So sometimes, I love to think about Mary Poppins and how she says, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Find the fun and snap. The job's a game. Sometimes I have to do that, right? Like with anything, yoga, parenting. How can I make this a little more pleasurable? For me, it's finding some water and flow and playing in it. So inhale, extend your arms, extend your legs long. Draw into the center. Exhale, expand out like a star. Lower back down. Maybe inviting some pulsations here. So we're building some strength. Really draw your low belly in and press down through your heels, activating that power. filling your lungs, letting that breath flow. Maybe a little side reach to each side. And then lift up. We'll take another starlight pose. Plug in. Shine it back out. Shimmer like a star. Hands to your hips, lower down, sink down. It might feel good to do some punches if you're feeling like you have something that you just like really want to like move through. Sometimes you have to use a little force. Sometimes water is like a flood, you know, so you might want to punch, but keep your belly like really supported by snuggling those muscles around your organs or around your baby. Punch, 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 punch. Yes, bend your elbows. Maybe stick your tongue out, a little lion's breath. Good job. Yay. You feel your heart rate moving up a little bit for that. We got to strengthen our bodies to go with the flow, right? So taking your block one more time, we'll place it underneath your booty, your bottom. You can have two blocks if you'd like. We're gonna move down into a malasana, squat pose. So make sure that it's at a good spot where you can aim for the ground, aim for the block. Breathe in, open that spaciousness, welcoming in that prana. Exhale, soften into the support of the earth. Inhale, engage your muscles around your bones, lift your hands to the sky. Exhale, sink down onto your blocks. Giving yourself a nice, generous seat. Might feel good here to just shimmy your hips a little bit, really feeling those groin muscles, that the inner rotation of your femurs here. Soften and deepen your groins and maybe wiggle it around a bit. Then draw your low belly in, press down from your hips to your heels. Malasana. And if this isn't working for you, you can always take a block out and just sit on the ground with your knees bent. You can also do this version. Just a few more breaths, just turning within. And then extend your legs long. Maybe give a little wiggle. I like to make fists and give my hips and my thighs and my hamstrings a little tap. And then as you're here, press through the ball of your big toe. Energetically draw your pinky toe back towards your outer shins. Find that wiggle. Breathe in. On the exhale, hug your belly button in, wrap your outer hips back and down. Let your spine be free. Feel that expansive nature as you stretch forward, fold forward, using any props. You can also stay upright if that feels better for you. You know, it's like the thought of having something or getting to a certain place in life when we don't know how we're going to get there or how it's going to feel. A lot of it is, like I mentioned, following the feeling and having curiosity and that ability to course correct if we find ourselves going in the wrong, not optimal direction. So we can follow that in our bodies. Just because I'm doing this doesn't mean that you have to do that. So really opening and listening with compassion, empathy for ourselves and where we are. And On your next inhale, allow the back of your heart to guide you up. Bend your knees, draw your legs in. And we'll end with that windshield wiper. Excuse me. A little side to side. You get to revisit this pose. Notice if anything shifted or changed. It might feel good now to cross an ankle over and glide it side to side to get a little outer hip stretch, maybe even pause on that outer hip side. Really press into the ground with your fingers, claw your fingers, draw that energy up your arms to the back of your heart, maybe even lift your heart up a bit, a little extension of the spine. And then to the other side. Maybe you hum or sigh like me. Slowly release. And for the last minute or so, we'll find a comfortable position. You may stay in seated meditation. You may lay down in a comfortable position for Shavasana. You can also do anything else that feels good for you. If you're pregnant, lying on props or on your left side is nice. If you're sitting, you can always sit against a wall. And returning to that spacious nature. Just going silent for a few moments to allow you to integrate. Beginning to deepen your breath. Welcoming in that flowing nature of your breath. Welcoming in that flowing nature of your spirit and life. And slowly make your way to a seat if you're not already there. Palms together at heart center, considering that intention or focus or dedication that you set for yourself today, for your practice. Knowing that you can follow the feelings using that curiosity and that playful energy to help guide you towards where you are meant to be. We'll follow this practice with take three grounding breaths followed by an Om. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. May the merit of this practice contribute to the happiness, freedom, and well-being of all beings. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.